Hey, good evening, man. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for tuning in. Welcome to another episode of Cola's Corner, presented by 58 South TV. I'm your man, 58 South. We got another special guest in the building. We got KC sitting in with us today.
How y'all doing?
Yeah, in case you don't know, that's who makes the audio and the video look so illustrious. You know what I mean? So worthy of your viewership. So thank you so much for sitting in, sir.
I appreciate you. Thanks for having me.
How's everybody feeling today, first of all?
Doing great, man. Doing great.
I'm feeling good.
Great. Is that it? Is that all we're doing after Deion Sanders just went to TCU and beat the number 17 ranked team who just played for a national championship last year, beat them boys by 3 points? They were a 20-point underdog. Are we just doing okay?
In that case, we're doing better than okay. Oh, man.
Congratulations to the Colorado Buffaloes, man. I'm not from there. Don't know anybody in Colorado, but I was rooting for Deion Sanders because a lot of y'all weren't. For some strange reason, when you hate your job and want to get a better one, you're all for that. But when Deion Sanders did the same thing, he hated black people for some reason. Yeah. Who knew?
Hey, man, that's the effects of the herd mentality.
Amen to that.
Good. Gracious. Well, hope you heard that he did well today.
Yeah.
His son threw for over 500 yards, 4 touchdowns. Shocked the football world, man. Congratulations to Deion Sanders. All right. Today's topic of choice, manhood. And what I want to know is, gentlemen, do you have any, or have you thought about any rites of passage to become a man? Like, for instance, let's just say y'all learn how to change a tire. I know that's something either gender could do.
Right.
But growing up, there were certain things that a man was just expected to know how to do.
Right.
Change a tire, hold a door for a woman that was born a woman and identifies as a woman.
We still want monetization of this podcast.
Nah, we good. We're not saying anything wrong. You know what I mean? Not saying anything wrong. But
traditionally,
right? But y'all
right.
get what I'm saying,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Correct.
Would y'all think of anything that y'all would consider a rite of passage on your way to manhood?
Rite of passage. Like you said, simple things like that. Is so complicated now.
It's a lot of gender confusion today.
Yeah, it's so the lines are so blurred now. But traditionally, like you were just naming things like the man took care of the outside stuff, things like that. Change a tire, help a lady. You don't know if they hold a door now or not. You don't know, that could be considered sexist versus simply just being a gentleman. Right. So there's so many things that it's so much confusion that it's kind of hard to say. But for me, personally, I'm a traditional type. There's certain things that I like to do at home that I think I should do as a man, and that works for my house. Now, your house may be different, but there are just certain things I make sure when my wife get in the car, I make sure, if she going somewhere, make sure gas in the car, make sure I take care of the oil changes, good tires, all the basic things like that. I just still think that I should do. Before I go to bed, I make sure all the doors are locked.
Yeah.
Cutting the grass and just other things that I just think I still gonna hold to. I don't care what everybody else do. Like I said, you gotta have your own. You gotta have your own standards. And I have a son, so I try to make sure certain things that I do that he'll pick up on the way to know how to treat a young lady.
Correct.
So, both of y'all have sons, as a matter of fact.
Right.
Yeah.
So
that was gonna be my next thing to ask both of you.
I think for me, a rite of passage to become a man is when you have to sacrifice yourself for the family. Like when you have to do that. A lot of men, today's generation are very selfish. You know what I'm saying? But when you have to go hungry for your old lady and your child to eat, you should do that.
Yeah. And you said sacrifice for the family, and that's true. I agree. But the thing comes in, the confusion comes in because, well, that was one of the questions. I won't jump that far, but sometimes, you kind of got to make sure we make these things clear, because sometimes there can be a confusion. I mean, like young ladies, they'll want this and then they'll want that. You can't, in other words, you got to kind of know the lines got to be clear. The expectations have to be clear. You know, if I'm doing this and I think is a man leading out doing certain things, like, okay, if you were the leader, like you were saying, you sacrifice. Now, I feel like I need to be the leader all the time, not just when it's convenient. Right?
Yes.
So if I'm going to be the leader, I gotta be trusted. I gotta be respected as the man at all times, not just when it's convenient and beneficial for the young lady.
So, for instance, what you're saying is, I'm not the leader at dinner, meaning I'm paying for everything. Then when it comes to me, I guess trying to help you, protect you from you by saying, I don't think you should wear that going out with your friends. It's just y'all. You
Right.
know what I mean? Yeah, you may be whatever you feel about yourself, but if in fact you dress like a fireman and people ask you to put out fires and you get offended by people assuming that you're a fireman, if y'all get what I'm saying.
Right.
Don't wear fireman outfits if you're not a fireman.
Right.
Don't hang with the firemen if you don't want to be classified as a fireman.
But I think that can be taken away.
It
In a way, some think that's victim blaming, and some think leading. You should. A lot of people, when they say leading, they don't bring up listening. Also, a lot of leading is knowing when to step back and allowing the pack to be the pack. The pack isn't the pack isn't the pack without the wolf, and then vice versa.
Right.
They both need each other.
Right.
So to know when to step back, for me, is also a man being a leader.
Okay. I can go with that. But ultimately, and from my perspective and my limited knowledge, is that bottom line is, now this is a saying that is taught through leadership. One of my favorite leadership teachers or mentors, Dr. John Maxwell, and he got one saying that he always says: everything rises and falls on the leader. Right?
Right. You said a mouthful there.
So I gotta be trusted.
Yes.
You know, you gotta trust, but you know that trust has to be earned. It's just not. You know, you don't trust something just because you say trust it. You trust things because it's been tested.
I.e., ladies, he's saying,
right,
just because I'm a man don't mean you gotta trust me as the leader. I have to show you that I can be trusted as the leader. You know,
I don't think they do it anymore, but most back in the day on a lot of electronic devices, you used to always see those circled and it had UL. And I forgot what it represented, Underwriters Laboratory. And what that stood for was any product that you see that on, that simply means that it has been tested and is proven to do just what it said it does. Yeah. Right?
QA pass, right?
So there you go. See what I'm saying? Right, that means we stand behind this product because we tested it and it does exactly what it says. So as a leader, especially young men, gotta create this track record. You can tell by me that if something, like you said, if a sacrifice, I come through every time.
Right.
Right? So in those tough times, you ain't got to be questioning me. I already come through. I've proven myself to be loyal, to be faithful, to be trust, to get it done, to make it happen. Yeah. You know, and so that has to be. Now we talk about manhood, but you know, it look like we're going into a relationship because we keep talking about leading the family. The number one thing I think in relationship we have to understand, when we get in a relationship, the first thing both of you have to understand, got to get rid of that separate mentality. We're one now. It's a team. You know, a lot of folks go in, especially now with all these, you know, the big women movements and all that. I'm not against all of that, but I'm just saying, when you create two things, anything divided, you divide it. You going in there divided. Yeah, I got my stuff. I got my stuff. You can't be like that. If you know, marriage is a team, or not, I always go to marriage, but relationship or whatever, you got to understand it's a team, man. We one. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no division here. So whatever best for you is best for me. And if you don't go in there with the attitude of, I got, you know, just in case, I got a backup plan.
Fear.
Yeah.
Fear is the
so,
word.
You know, it's kind of hard to be one when you're divided. That's why I always say, and I had this thing with people about the independence. You can't be independent and be together. You can be interdependent, but not independent. right?
Makes sense to me, but I mean, you know.
Interdependence means you need me and I need you. Interdependence, right? So we work together, man. And that's with anything, business, anything, in a relationship. You got to understand that both parts are value. And that's one thing, man, that I think it's so hard in relationships, especially marriages now. Everybody go in there with that mindset of, I'm looking out for me. What's in it for me? But do you ever think, what am I bringing? How can I make it better? Or whatever it is, how can I make it better?
You said a phrase that people are very afraid to say to one another, that whole I need.
Yeah.
That always be, that phrase can and will be used against you in the court of life.
Yeah. Because, but when I say I need, I'm not talking about that ladies tell you now, I don't need you.
Right. That's what they'll say.
I'm not talking about in a handicapped way, like I can't, live without you. That's not the context I'm speaking from. I'm speaking from the context of that if we're gonna build something, we understand each other's value. That's the road I'm going down.
Yeah. Makes sense to me. We started off talking about rites of passage for manhood, but relationships are heavy on your mind, bro.
Because that's
what life is about, though.
I'm telling you, and I keep going back to this statistics that I read, the most people that deal with depression, anxiety, and either suicidal ideologies and, that big word is, you know what I'm trying to say, suicide. They are most people that live in isolation.
Socially awkward.
Yeah.
Socially awkward.
You know what I'm saying? Even if you're socially awkward, that's the most socially awkward people that you can connect with. Right?
Well, that's what makes them socially awkward, because they would never connect with other people.
But I'm just saying, people that tend to constantly deal with those battles are people that don't have anyone that they talk to, and that's why that's why I thank God I grew up in a kind of a large family, because now I see yeah, well, so but now I see the value in it as I've gotten older. You know what I'm saying? And and I understand how important relationships are. Yeah,
man. Yeah, growing up around a lot of toxic women really help you deal with toxic women when you get older. Shout out to all y'all toxic ladies in the family. Oh yeah, so they didn't know that before the word happened. Anyway,
now that's his words, not mine.
Hey, look, you see, I stayed completely quiet.
That's his words.
If you don't mind, just one question off of marriage. If you don't mind, do you think that marriage is today an outdated concept?
No, absolutely not. For so many reasons. Now, it's an outdated concept to people that just want to create something new. But it's not an outdated concept, because how else are the human race going to survive?
But through marriage?
That's the original intent. I'm dealing with the original intent.
They survive through procreation.
Yeah. But procreation only supposed to work in the context of marriage.
That you go with supposed.
Well, I'm going back. Yeah. I'm going on my world.
Right. Your fundamental beliefs.
Because, and this is why I say this, because who created the human being?
I'll take God 4,000.
Okay, now who's in charge of purpose? The creator or the creation?
The creator.
There you go. So you got to go with the creator's instructions. Now, I drive a Honda. I can't operate my Honda by the Toyota's manual.
Right on.
Right? And if I wanted to operate at its best level, I should take it to the Honda dealership.
You should.
So a marriage is, as you said, is seems to be outdated because everybody's creating their own definition of marriage. 2 women, 2 men, that's not marriage according to the creator. Not my perspective, but to the creator's perspective, which is God. Now he got a book, a manual, also known as the Bible, that says man, woman. This is how creation is to take place and to continue. You can't find nowhere in the manual that has an alternative to man, husband, wife, man, woman. Studies show, even if just studies, science has shown children that grow up in this type of home are healthier socially, they grow up, emotionally stable and all that in the creator's version of marriage. So I had to go with the creator's version of marriage for 5,000. But it's not outdated in the context of the original intent. That's what I'm saying. Now, everybody got their own definition of marriage, but for me, you can't define what you didn't create. That's my whole point. Well, if you invent something, I can't come tell you how it's best should function. Right? If you invent something, you're the inventor. You had the original purpose, right? Mm-hmm. So I can't tell you, hey man, you got that, but no, that ain't how it works. It was your invention, right?
I could debate for just simply entertainment purposes, but I accept exactly where you're at.
Yeah, you can, man. Just to show everybody, everybody got their own,
What? Go ahead.
Go ahead. I'm open.
Cameras, right? Somebody invented that camera.
Right.
But every year it gets
It's a different
better.
version.
Yes, and the person who created the camera, I'm pretty sure is gone now.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody had to make that better each and every time. So I think creating your own world of it would be nice for them people who can align.
Right.
Okay, all right, boom, I follow what you're saying. But as far as the outcome and it being improved upon, I don't think that's the case with marriages and relationships. The only reason I say that is because one way can produce life and offspring. The other ways do not. They have to.
It's impossible.
Yeah.
They always have to go.
We're
always
speaking
have to
of
go.
that light.
Yeah, because he was saying the whole purpose of marriage was
They always have to go back. Even if they live that, they still need the original.
Correct.
Right?
You got it.
You put 12 men, 12 women on an island, you'll find the bones of 12 men, 12 women.
Hey, yo,
you put 12 transgenders on an island and 12 men on an island, you'll find 24 bones of men. That's how that works.
Yeah. And it can get we complicated, but it's really simple. But there's so many different factors. It's not as I understand where people are going with this because they have reasons why they feel that certain ways. But it's very dangerous to live off feelings. I will tell you that.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
That can lead you in a terrible place. Yeah.
How early is it that y'all start talking to y'all kids about relationships?
All the time. Now. My son's 10, and I do it now. We're talking about romantic relationships.
Just the importance of relationships.
Relationships
you don't
is
start
everything.
a kid off, talking romantic stuff.
Yeah, relationships are everything. We wouldn't be here if there wasn't for relation and connection. So I believe that as early as you can tell them in their way, the way that they can understand what relationships are and what connections are, do it as soon as possible. Because they always say it's who you know, not what you know. Mm-hmm. Create them relationships and make sure they're healthy first, and make sure, again, the stars align. You want to make sure that you're equally yoked with your friends just as much as your acquaintances, just as much as your wife or fiance, whomever.
Right.
So.
Yeah. Well, for me, one of the greatest things that before I talk to my son about, I want to demonstrate, I want to be it, because I believe the greatest thing that we can do is be an example. So, I try to make sure that he sees me treat his mom with respect, love, and take care of her like I'm supposed to. I want to see him how I operate and interact with my brothers, my sisters, my mom, my extended family, my spiritual family. I want to see those, let him see those, and then talk to him about the importance of them. Now, one thing that was interesting to me, this was a couple years ago, he was about 8 or 9, and he had already told me who he was going to marry. And I'm like, I'm sure he won't, maybe will, but I'm sure he don't. But the point for me that stood out to me was that he sees already the importance and the value of marriage.
Yeah.
So that was that was a very compliment to us
Right.
As parents. So I think the one thing to do is to demonstrate and be examples to the kids so they can see, healthy relationships and authentic relationships. Now, someone told me one time that they'd never seen their parents fight and argue, not physical, but just have a disagreement. Mm-hmm. My son won't be able to say that. And that's fine because I want him to see that so he'll know if he ever in a relationship, he won't get mad, fall out of a relationship. He'll know how to handle confrontation. And
right.
You know what I'm saying? You teach people to be real.
Yeah.
And he'll see, they disagree, but they never stop loving each other. They never stop, name calling and getting in physical abuse. They learn how to handle relationships at home. Home is the university for the children.
And conflict resolution
And
is
conflict
very
resolution
important.
is big.
Very important.
See how they handle that. And that's why, sometimes I believe so much today we see so much children. I'm not saying bullying is not real, but this because they don't know how to handle it. Now, you grew up in a family like we did. We got bullied right among our little clan.
You didn't get bullied. You just called that lunch. That was just lunch.
No, I'm just saying what they call bullying now. We got that on Sunday afternoon at the family house.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
That really prepared you for outside because you had already been made aware of your insecurities. Like,
well, not just that. It's just that some things or phases that kids gotta go through. You know what I'm saying? You just don't pay it no attention. You let it roll. Because you have enough confidence already. In yourself to say, hey,
the people that love me and care about me
Yeah,
already
there you
told
go.
me my ears are
There
big.
you go.
There's nothing you can say to me can affect me. They've already told me that.
Yeah, and I know they love me.
Yeah.
So
My son, I think I'm his first bully.
Really?
Yeah, I think I'm his
Well, that's
first
because
bully.
I was gonna say, but you went.
But I need you to deal with that. Like you need to have tough skin growing up.
Right.
Period. I mean, life is not.
yeah, people not gonna be that
It's
kind.
not- yeah, it's
You're not
not
gonna run
nice.
into kind people all the
Yeah,
time.
it's not nice.
Yeah.
I mean, they say gentle parenting, but this world is not gentle.
at all.
Period.
Right.
So
So yeah, you have to be, you just got to be honest and out front. Let them prepare for it, man. Like you said, the world ain't like that.
Yeah, man. Outside of the people who birthed you, nobody cares about you.
I wouldn't say.
For real.
I'd go lower than that. Even some of them, like.
I don't know. I don't know.
It's a dirty world out here, man.
It is, but I just believe. In my profession, I've been in this profession for 29 years.
And what is that profession? Because some people keep asking me, like, what does he do? I say he gives great advice.
Yeah,
so just watch. Just keep watching.
Well, by trade, I'm a hairstylist.
Yeah.
But I'm a teacher as well, a life teacher. But over the 29 years, man, I've met some of the greatest people in my life, man. I've met people that have I have about 4 different moms. They say that's my son, or that, and I hope it's because it's the seeds that I've sown that just come. The harvest is coming back, and that's what I think when we say there's people. The world is is rough, but I believe when you sow good seed, good come back to you in multiplied form.
Oh, yeah.
So
attitude.
I try to be nice to people, be kind to people. It come back, man, in other form. Not family, just people that go out of their way, man, to be a blessing to not only me, but my whole family. I joke with them all the time. I say, you got that because of me.
Yeah.
And it's simply because another thing, I always try to be kind to people because it demonstrated me. Yeah, I know you talk about the women, but your grandma, yeah, my aunt, but she was more like a grandmother to me because grandmother died early, so she was more like a grandmother to me. But I've seen her do things and be kind to people, and it always came back to her in multiplied form. So that was an example to me that I try to pattern my life after and be kind. It always come back, and it's not necessarily going to come back from the people that you've been kind to.
Yeah, it rarely comes back.
It'll come back,
yeah.
but it'll come back in multiplied form because the harvest is always greater than the seed.
I like that.
Yeah.
That should be the name of this episode. The harvest is always.
Right.
Yeah, cola. Book of cola.
Yeah, man. So you just gotta set your thermostat You know, you got to set your thermostat for those type of people, man. They're out there. People that want to see you succeed. There's people that want to see you go further than they've been. There are people out there, but we got to get rid of that. You know, that's why you set. I say a lot of times we're just thermostats. Thermostats go up and down according to the area around them. But a thermostat, you set it. You know what I'm saying, to right where you want it to be. And so when I set myself to be around people that are always going further than me, that's already been further than me, you know, I don't want to be the smartest one in the group because that's dangerous.
You should never be the smartest man in the group.
Yeah.
You're the smartest man in the group. You're in the wrong group.
Yeah,
you're in the wrong group.
Yeah.
Message.
Yeah, y'all want to keep going and growing. And, you know, I try to set myself out to find those type of people.
So what would be an indicator that you need to switch groups?
Well, like I said, you know, sometimes you get to a point where you feel yourself complacent. I know I do. I'm like, you know, I'm here. I plateaued. I don't feel like I'm growing any, you know. And, you know, I just feel like I don't feel, you know, normally time it shows up in a man in frustration. Yeah, a lot of times you're frustrated, you're upset, you just, you know, and you don't even know why. It's time for a change, man. It's time to level up a little more. You know what I'm saying? Every year. And this is from even in small things at my house. At the end of the year, I'm going to change something because I'm frustrated if I don't see anything. I'll paint a wall at the house. I don't care if it's just one wall. I need to look different going into the new year.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I need to have something have changed. Something need to have better in your life. You know what I'm saying? Every year. So, yeah, man. You got to just want to be around the right people. This, who is that? I don't know the guy. I used to read his stuff. He says, if you hang around 5 broke people, guess who's going to be the 6th?
Right on.
All right?
Right on.
So that's important, man, to be around people that are moving and going ahead.
Okay. Well, speaking of moving, did you have anything you wanted to ask him before we signed off?
So as a man in his singleness, right? We talk about marriage a lot. We talk about relationships a lot. What is being a good single man? What do you do in between being single and finding your helpmate?
What do you do in the meantime?
What do you do in the meantime? Other than growing, other than, you know, finding yourself and collecting yourself, what are you supposed to do? How do you define a good man in his singleness?
Romano, you're a single man. How you define
Sheesh.
it? Well, you know, it depends. Now, are you a single man looking toward marriage? You know, some people single and they're good.
Well, me, I'm always... This is for me.
Oh, okay.
I know the cameras ain't on me. This is for me.
Okay.
During separation, I'm been separated about 1.5 years, soon to be finalized my divorce. Within that time, what do I need to be doing? Because honestly, I believe I'm meant for a relationship. I can't, being single for me,
ain't your thing.
Hey man, I'm out here in these streets and I play for real. I don't need, and that's not good for me.
Right.
It's just not. So how do I focus on myself? What is something I can anchor to in the meantime? What is just a direction, a simple direction?
Okay. Well, as you said, first thing you said, you're not divorced yet, right?
No.
First thing, you want to get that done.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, you're not single yet.
Hold on. Matter of fact,
Okay,
I'll tell y'all something, because you haven't been divorced before, right?
No.
And you haven't been divorced, right?
I ain't even married to be divorced.
Hey, man, if you're separated longer than 1 year, on my taxes, I claim single.
Okay.
It pushes you there.
Okay.
So,
But who defines that? The creation or the creation?
Oh my!
no.
Well, the thing is, man,
The IRS.
I would say, man, you know, you just newly single again. You know, take some time to see a little self-evaluation, maybe. You know what I'm saying? I don't know the details. That's really not important. But you know, you want to make sure, you know, you do a little self-reflection. See, you know, what some things that maybe you could go and see. What did I do here? What did I do there? And you know, how old are you? You're
29.
Oh man,
29.
Yeah, 29. Okay, yeah, you can take some time. And I know most brothers don't. Some brothers ain't into the being alone thing, but just do a little self-reflecting. You know what I'm saying?
I think it's important, but in all honesty, I mean, regardless or not, we all need some type of attention.
Right.
You know, we need, no matter, every man needs some affection, man. Affection. It don't have to be what, the world would think.
Right.
But, man, ain't nothing like a woman's touch, man. Ain't nothing like a hug, man. Hey, what you got to say? Why you looking like that?
So you stopped the hug. I'm like,
There's a kid in here.
Yeah.
There's a kid in here.
Yeah. So, yeah.
I get that. I get all that without
just the
ever having been
interaction.
divorced.
But just the interaction. Like, I need a female's interaction.
You need
it.
If I don't, it's like I have one cigarette left in my pack.
Well, that's a mean analogy, there, partner.
I got one cigarette left in my pack.
You about to hurt yourself.
Yeah.
He said that's a mean analogy. Yeah. Got one cigarette in my pack. That sounds like some Richard Pryor stuff back in the day.
Somebody understands what I'm saying.
I understand what you're saying. That's very important. So.
20 come in the pack. The man said 19 are gone. I have one left. My blood is screaming for nicotine, and I got one cigarette left.
It sounds like 4 tops or something back in the day.
This could get dangerous after this one cigarette is gone.
Percy Slade song, something back in the day.
That's
but,
Lady Williams.
I think if I could just, he's silly. But the thing is, I believe, and this is gonna seem maybe a little different coming from a guy, but as they would tell the young ladies, you really don't need somebody until you don't need somebody. You get what I'm saying?
You're saying kick the habit.
Do you follow that?
Yes.
You don't need a woman until you don't need a woman. In other words, you don't want to say you need them that bad that
I
you
have
can't function.
no ego in this game.
Did I not say earlier that phrase right there? People
Gonna come back.
say that phrase. See?
Yeah,
Hey, man.
Yeah. But because now think about it. If you feel like that, you will be careful that you ever been real hungry and like food wise,
Yes, sir.
And
Glad you made that distinction.
yeah. And you may be on your way. Somebody could be cooking you something good, maybe your favorite meal, but you're so hungry, man. Somebody offer you a hot dog on 2 pieces of bread, light bread. And, really ain't what you want. You got mustard in up there coming through the bread on your hand.
I made this analogy that you make. I made this same analogy at what was it? It was a sophomore or freshman year at A&T when some girl was like, then why do guys cheat when they have a woman at home? I said, well, you ever been real hungry? The same thing that you said. I said, yeah, you might want to get a sandwich from the dollar menu. I mean, it's there. You're on your way to go get the real meal.
Hey, man, that's where I would go with that.
Yeah,
it's just there. So you don't want to, you might want to take a little time so you're just not grabbing what's there because you're hungry. You know what I'm saying?
You'll feel disgusted with yourself after you eat that hot dog. I'm telling you, man, hot dogs are terrible for you in the long run.
Yeah, especially if you ain't on a bun, man.
Yeah.
So,
hot dogs have everything
so I
in them.
understand what you're saying, but at the same time, you know what I'm saying? You want to take your time, man, and make sure you get something.
What he's saying
quality,
is starve a little bit on your way to the big meal. You'll appreciate it more. You know what I mean?
Yeah, something like that.
Enjoy the crock pot.
Meanwhile, I'm over here getting a Whopper Jr.
Yeah. So you have to, you don't want to rush right into
a sandwich.
Yeah, you don't want to rush right into something that's not of quality or something that you really don't want. Because, they always say you don't make good decisions when you're too emotional.
That's why you don't go to the grocery store starving.
Hungry, that's what they tell you. Right? That's another good analogy.
That's why I need to stay fed, Cola. Do you hear me? There's one cigarette left in the pack.
Well, man, break that cigarette up. You don't need to be smoking anyway.
Lord.
Use something else healthier for you.
I'm done. I don't want his advice anymore.
Oh, boy.
This isn't what I thought it would be.
Yeah, man, that's that hard stuff, baby. Most of the advice, good advice, you don't want to hear.
Oh no, I'm just kidding.
I'm just messing with you.
Oh my God.
No, I'm just messing with you. But yeah, seriously though, that's just you take a little time, Doc. Yeah.
I got you.
Mm-hmm.
This has been very enlightening. Thank you so much to our guest.
Thank you for having me.
KC,
Thank you for
appreciate
having
you,
me.
man. Give them your information, please, your social medias and all that.
If
good
you
stuff.
need edits, if you need anything done, logo designs, if you need, the I just did, if you need them cut out of your podcast, by all means, please email me at unveilyourcloud@gmail.com. And if you need to find me on social medias, it is UYC1102 on Instagram and Keshawn Chadwick on Facebook.
It'll also be in the description. I am 58 South. Yeah, just type that in. That's all you're gonna find on Instagram. I don't have anything else. Just that on Instagram. 58 South TV on YouTube. Mr. Cola Meadows, is there any not long lasting, but lasting words you'd like to leave with the people before we get out of here today?
Just not really.